Chapter 17, Slander. Around that time, one of the school counselors, the loose-limbed, goateed Mr. Floyd, came into Eric's science class. The topic of the day was bullying, rumors, and gossip. Mr. Floyd explained that it was a normal thing they do a few times every year. He reminded the class that he'd given a similar talk in early September. Even so, Eric wondered if this particular visit might be in response to what had been swirling around the hallways for the past few weeks. After setting some guidelines, everybody had to listen to and respect one another, basically. Mr. Floyd began by reminding the class of the definition of bullying. He read from the screen, "Bullying is whenever someone uses his or her power unfairly or repeatedly to hurt someone." Eric glanced around the room. Pat Daly was in there, along with Hakeem and Drew Peterson. A couple of Mary's friends, Chrissy and Alexis, were in the class, along with Mary herself. At times, Eric couldn't help but feel that Mr. Floyd was speaking directly to those girls. Mr. Floyd said that there were 4 types of bullying: verbal, physical, intimidation, and indirect bullying. Today, he seemed most interested in indirect bullying. When Mr. Floyd asked for examples, a bunch of students spoke up, mentioning things like lies and gossip. One by one, different students told about their experiences, either as targets, or bullies, or bystanders. Except they always said things like, "I know a kid who knows a girl who," or, "It didn't happen to me, but," yeah, right, Eric thought. Tamara Ajis admitted, "I've teased people about the way they looked," she said. "I didn't think it was bullying." Drew Peterson raised his hand. "Are you doing this in all the classes or just ours?" "I'll be presenting this to every student in grade 7, Mr. Floyd said. "No one is being singled out. But," he admitted, "there have been some things going on lately that we're not happy about." Eric could almost hear Chrissy's eyeballs roll in their sockets. By her body language, long torso poured across her desk, head resting on her arm, Chrissy made it clear that she was so bored by everything. Mr. Floyd steered the discussion to rumors and how they spread. He asked, "What is slander?" Together, the class decided that slander was like a mean rumor done purposely to hurt someone. When he asked if anyone knew of any examples, about 6 hands instantly shot up. Some girls found mean notes in their lockers or received anonymous phone calls, all sorts of brutal stuff. Eric was fascinated and horrified at the same time. Mostly, though, he felt relieved once again, for the 937th time in his life, that he was born a boy. Those girls were murder on one another. Through it all, Mary never moved. She sat perfectly still, eyes fixed forward. Once, she almost raised her hand to speak. Eric saw her lean forward, tighten her grip on the desk, but then she seemed to think better of it. She never said a word. The fun part was when they got to play classroom Jeopardy. Mr. Floyd had a big whiteboard with 4 main categories: how can you stop bullies, rumors, types of bullying, and grab bag. Each category had 5 questions, ranging from 100 to 500 points. When it was Eric's turn to pick, he landed on double Jeopardy question. Mr. Floyd read from a card, "A person who witnesses a bullying situation." Eric sat in silence, uncomfortable in his own skin. So he waited, head down, pretending to think. A couple of boys hummed the Jeopardy theme song. "Do do 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 do." "Buzz! Time's up," Mr. Floyd announced. "Anyone else have the answer?" "What is bystander?" someone shouted. "Correct, for 800 points." For the last few minutes, each group had to brainstorm a list of strategies to create a bully-free zone. The clock was ticking, and Ossie, the writer in Eric's group, had to scribble really fast. Respect, tell an adult, don't spread rumors, don't encourage a bully, stand up for a friend, walk away, don't be a bystander, help victims, say stop it, don't laugh at bullies' jokes, be nice to target. Everybody had lots of ideas. It was fun. Besides, it beat listening to another dull lecture from his science teacher, Mrs. Wilcox. Anything was better than that. Eric's thoughts turned to Griffin Conley, and then David Hallenbach. Eric decided that he'd try a little harder. Like Mr. Floyd said, be an ally, not a bystander. All the while, Eric kept glancing over at Mary. She was staring out the window, picking at the frayed hems of her jeans.